Oh,
Thursdays.
well-
Thursdays.
Only if people bring it on Mondays. He doesn't. He actively doesn't drink on Mondays unless Todd or John. brings
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Okay. And with that being said,
There it is.
Cracking
yeah.
open a cold one.
The boys.
it's called official noise of Crashcast.
Right.
Is a can
Can we rename it to Crackcast?
That's some different connotations.
Snap,
right there.
snap, crack, crashcast, and pop.
snap, crash, and pop?
Your
Crash is the picture that I sent you of that Nick took of the guy from Spyro. So it's snap and pop, and then that picture is memed in the middle. Hey, but it still has the arrow that says, "Hey, this is Corey."
Hey, it's me. Drinking delicious Lost 40 beer. Sponsor me.
Which one is that? The Heffenweizen?
Dude, I don't even know.
It's got like the
Yeah.
orange in it.
Hefeweizen.
Hefeweizen.
I don't know if that's how you say it.
I mean, all I know is that Hefe is usually a foreign word for boss, and Weizen is something.
Well, aren't you smart?
Yes, I am.
It's a wheat beer, and it has an original depiction of what is an angel on the front of the can.
Probably
I like that satanic star it's got on there.
It's probably some sort of is it like an
It
orange?
has an eye in the middle of it.
Well, no, that's supposedly what real angels look like. They're supposed to be disgusting,
Yeah,
weird
looking creatures.
So not.
The Evangelion fans?
Ugh.
Because, I mean, that kind of looks like one of the bosses
Let's
right there, right?
let's not.
It's a Mega Man boss.
It would be
I mean, it'd be
pretty cool.
Fucking...
So what do we? So what do we got here? Two Justins.
The two Justins.
Corey.
It's been a minute since you and I have been in the same room to do one of these.
Todd was gonna be here, but you know, Todd being Todd, he's tired. You gotta call you, baby. I'm tired. Oh, I can't talk into a fucking microphone.
If you say tired and you stretch it, I'm tired.
I'm tired.
It already kind of sounds like Todd. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's pretty
sounds like
amazing.
complaints.
Episode 21.
21. Oh, guys, you gotta crack. At least have a sip of one, guys. We crossed.
Just
Yeah.
It's
go
a
ahead.
milestone. No. You
This
have
is
to
This
now.
is a milestone.
Hold on, I can't wait to say it. You guys have to drink with me. Cheers. After we actually crossed it on the 19th episode, but I'm gonna say after 20 episodes, this is episode 21. We crossed 1,000 downloads.
Cheers.
Boom.
Boom.
1,000.
1,000. Here's to 1,000 more. All right.
This is really fucking good.
I told you. I love this one, dude.
It's not as gross as most. So.
Yeah. So that's good. But anyway,
Yeah.
take the time to just say fucking thank you. Like it's incredible to think that
1,000 people listen to this shit.
well, not 1,000 people, but enough people to where we hit our first milestone as a
Right.
podcast.
It's a big deal.
And it's a huge fucking deal.
You actually told me that like last week.
Yeah,
and I
from the
forgot.
bottom of my heart. Thank you, man. Like
From the bottom of my ass and my shitty Line 6 pedal. I thank you. I literally pressed play on the Earl episode before I left the apartment, and I skipped literally to right when you said, "Should we tell him?"
should we tell him?
It's like at 1:22:35.
Okay,
that's the
skip.
timestamp.
Okay, I should have put it in the description.
Oh, I thought about putting like the length of that whole part of the conversation and just posting that, just being like, just listen to this part if you don't
That
want
would
to
have
listen
been
to the
funny. Or just shoot your phone or shoot your car with like an Instagram live feed
Yeah.
of just it going on.
rest. Yeah, I could do that.
That would be boring. No one would watch.
What are you doing? I'm watching this guy's dash right now. That's
But
so
anyway,
good.
Yeah.
1,000 downloads.
It's pretty
It's
awesome.
pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm super stoked on it. We're gonna keep this fucking train a rolling. It's really cool, man. I'm working on some cool episodes, dude. Got some shit in my brain. Might have a couple of guests actually playing real instruments.
So that
No,
might-
well, I don't know yet. I'm just working on it.
okay,
So
okay.
things take time.
I understand.
We're working on something maybe potentially really big for the stage show. I can't say just yet, but
Okay.
there's a potential mega overload of a thing going to happen. So
Ooh.
it's awesome, dude.
I like
a lot of
them.
things in the works, really busy. And that actually is a good segue to today's topic, which is one of my favorite things to talk about. We're going to talk about
chocolate.
fuck you.
I'll be Todd today.
Gee, please don't. One's enough.
That's right.
Love you, Todd. No, dude, the psychology of like performance and the just like kind of identifying when you walk into a building what you're going to do, how you're going to set everything up, and kind of like knowing what to do and all those kinds of things, and like more like I guess like a science to the setup, to the way you play, and just kind of knowing your way around these kinds of things. Because like being on both sides of the coin, being in production and being a band dude, you get to see like all of the things, ins and outs. And there is definitely right ways and hella ass wrong ways to do shit.
There's also a sprinkle of what the fuck is happening. Like, no, I don't. My eyes can't perceive what's actually happening.
I feel like that's definitely more on y'all's end on that part, but
well, I guess on the production side.
Yeah. Also to the people listening who've been listening since the beginning, this has actually been one of Corey's ideas to do on a podcast since the beginning.
Yeah.
This was gonna be like originally like 3 or 4, right?
There's gonna be a few, and we might still do it. I want my next idea is to do like a video series and actually have like, because it's kind of hard to say certain things and convey them without people seeing it. You know, a lot of people can't visualize what it is you're talking about, so they need to see what it is. So we might actually do that, like a little short series, like 2 parts or 3 parts, maybe.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe go up to Vino's on a night they have off and just shoot do things like this, backline like this kind of, treat your promoter like this, like don't be an asshole, those kinds of things. Yeah. So that's fun. And if you're in a band and you're seasoned, all this shit's going to be like, duh. But for a lot of fucking people,
they don't know.
They just don't know. But when you're in a hurry and you're trying to get things done and you're in the moment, knowing all those little tips and tricks and things really, really count for time and not pissing people off. And, just it's all in the detail.
Yeah.
And those are some of my favorite things. Like I love getting to a show. The first thing I ever do is walk in, scope the place out. And most times your first question to me is, all right, so what are we going to do? And I'm like, all right, so let's.
I think it's also good to, especially if you're in a band and like you like walk into the place when you're doing like let's say you get there early, you get get there a couple hours early, you don't have to like fully load in. Most time, if you're already there, venues will let you load in. Which take advantage, especially if you're a headliner, take advantage of that. Mm-hmm. But like, get a feel for the room, like stand in different parts of the venue, not just on the stage and not just near the soundboard. Like, go out in the middle of the venue, like literally in the middle of the crux from where the door starts to the wall ends, type thing.
Right.
And then get on the stage, imagine where your instrument's going to be, and just kind of look out and just what I like to do, especially when we do stuff for My Hands to War. Like if I'm playing guitar, I'll try to get on stage and just like look out and just kind of picture people there. That way, it kind of depletes the anxious factor. Not straight up anxiety, but just like I don't get nervous anymore for playing shows. I just get anxious. I get really like tense.
Yeah,
because
there's an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, like once the first band starts, it's like all right, the gears are slowly pushing in motion. Then once like the band before you plays.
Yeah, when you hear like that, we got 2 more songs, your fucking mind is just like,
oh, dude.
all right, dude. Your hands are shaking.
Synapses are firing, and you're just like, all right, it's time to fuck shit up, and like in a good way,
just
obviously.
Get into that state of mind though to do a show, and the
a-
shows y'all do, man, are fucking already
man.
fucking
Well,
balls
and that's
to the
and that's
walls as
another
it is.
well, that's another nerve that comes into play because when you put so much into a show, you're like all I think about until we're playing is like, okay, how are we gonna fuck this up? What could go wrong? This, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Like, what if the lights break down? And in reality, the thing is, you're just gonna keep playing because unless the PA shuts off, who gives a shit? The people will be like, well, the lights just cut out. This, shit happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's if your lights are fucking up, turn those shits off. The music's still there, so
Right. But so just in your own head, you create fucking scenarios, and like it's just all the bullshit. Like, oh, I wonder if people are going to leave
into
or
a panic attack.
Right? Yeah, literally. And
You don't intend to. You don't intend for your chest to get tight, your palms to get sweaty,
and your mom's spaghetti.
Your knees weak.
yeah. I mean, for lack of a better term, yeah. But like, I would say Corey's point of the band before you saying we've got 2 songs left. Go check out the merch. Go check out the other bands. So you're automatically in your head. What Corey has never joined us for a stretching session before My Hands to War show, and that's just not his thing. That's just not what he does. Todd and I have been doing that for so long that if we don't do it, like
It's tradition.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but it's just you get into your rhythm and everything. Like I don't stretch to get like 100% fully loosey goosey so I can do weird stretches or jumps or anything. I just do it because it feels comfortable, and then once I finish, I know that all right, it's time to play a show. Here we go.
It's a really positive like ritual that y'all
ritual.
Kinda,
that's a better word. Ritual.
Install like with doing it so often, and it
right,
psychologically makes you fucking feel better, so you're able to perform.
Like in the
better.
psychology behind that is like they still ask me every time.
Yeah.
And then thankfully Zombieland came out, and now I have a reply. It's like, you ever see a lion stretch before it takes down a gazelle? No, I'm a king of the jungle, baby.
And that's a great quote to use as a defense. Also, fucking Jesse Eisenberg killed Bill Murray.
Oh yeah, in the movie, I thought you were. Something in my brain was like, he killed somebody? No!
I mean, he did shave his head to become Lex Luthor, so.
He took it too far. Method acting strikes again. R.I.P. Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's a good point, man. I mean, you do get like the nerves and stuff, but like, it doesn't taste as good now?
The second drink was horrible.
Well, at least you had one. I appreciate that.
I tried two, so there you go.
Did you just like? You've never really been a big beer drinker.
He doesn't drink at all. Yeah, no, he doesn't drink beer at all.
That's very impressive.
Trying to get sponsored over here, Justin.
Hey, I'm not fucking like.
Yeah, you're fucking it up.
I'm not saying you're going.
I thought what you meant to say was, "Ooh, it's delicious." Lost 40.
I mean,
you should try. I think you would like the blackberry.
Oh, the blackberry bramble shit. Oh, dude,
man.
I'm open to try new things, but I just like it.
This one's got a bit of a back end. It goes down the throat and kind of gets you.
I mean, would you prefer like fruity stuff? I know we're getting off topic, but
okay. So what we're pros at?
Something that actually has taste to it.
Well, I was about to say. To be fair, I'm a big fan of like fruitier beers. Like I like Lionel Cougar, like berry shandy stuff like that.
Lionel Cougar.
Oh, the berry Vice. That's what that was. That used to be my drink of choice. And then like Blue Moon with an orange.
Love Blue Moon and an orange.
That's like
that and a plate of spaghetti. Fuck you, bitch. Best night ever.
Dude, that one time, man.
Maybe a movie with the lady. That's a date.
Something that I don't like are IPAs. Never.
Yeah.
Not a fan of the pale ales.
I'll drink it. It's whatever to me. I've gotten over the only ones I don't like are those, I call them soy sauce beers, man. They taste straight up like fucking soy sauce. It's so.
I need to drink whatever that is because I love soy sauce.
I put it on my rice and it gets me drunk.
I mean, if beer tasted more like soy sauce, I think I'd like it a little better.
No, you wouldn't.
I mean, I like soy sauce. So.
Yeah, I like soy sauce too, but not drinking it by the gallon.
I don't know. Never know till you try.
You just dab soy. You don't drink. You're both full of shit. Anyway, let's get back to the topic.
Yeah, Corey, why are you getting off topic again?
Yeah, because I'm good at it. I stick to what I'm good at. But anyway,
I'm proud of you.
That's a good one. That's a good point. I love pre-show jitters though, man, because like, especially when you're like setting up, you know people are staring at you.
Oh, yeah.
So it's weird. So you just keep your head down and keep working, and you're kind of going through all the motions that you've gone through 1,000 times before, and then you sit down. For me, it's you sit down behind a drum kit and your legs start shaking. You tap on the hi-hat a few times. The guy's going through all right, give me the snare, give me the tom. And you're like, yeah, bitch. And then you do the drum, then you play the whole kit, and you try not to fuck up because you want to look cool. You know?
Oh, yeah.
It's the worst.
Oh, yeah.
You want to talk about put on the spot? It's like, all right, play the whole kit, and you're like, what do I fucking look like? A drummer? No.
Yeah, so to me, there's like 3 levels of that shit. There's getting to the venue. There's doing the pre-show tradition type stuff, and then there's the first note of your actual set. Not like if we run samples sometimes. Not even the samples. That literally that first.
Yeah.
I'll use autopilot as an example. When you hit that first snare hit, this is where the whole psychology and science comes in. Like I'm not an extremely aggressive person.
No, you're not.
I can come across as intimidating because of my size and my passion for stuff, but for the most part, pretty passive, freewheeling, easy come, easy go kind of dude. I try to be that way, and I also try to be as humble as I can because I've seen people with. There's a difference between being proud and having a bunch of pride. Like you can be proud of everything you've ever done. There's a lot of shit that I've done that I've never told anybody about that I'm super proud of. But then once I get into the braggadocious side, it's like, well, now you just look like a dick.
Yeah.
And even if you know that person, you're like, that's not you. Quit doing that.
Yeah.
But like when that first note hits, and I tell people this every time, and the people who come see us play, they don't believe me, especially if it's their first time. There is literally, once Corey hits that first snare in autopilot or whatever the first song is, whatever the first note is, when I hear that sound reflected back to me, there is a switch that goes off, and I just turn into a fucking animal, whether it's in Lame Johnny or My Hands to War.
It's like a dragster waiting, and the green light goes, and it sprints to 200 miles an hour in a second.
Yeah, and it's this unconscious mask that gets put on. And I can even go into like the whole thing when like performing for Medic Red and all that stuff, like just interacting with the crowd in that sort of way. Like being behind drums, it's a little harder, but with Lame Johnny, it's easy because there's only 3 people, so the eyes are just darting.
Yeah, I mean
they're not trying to take in the whole scope of a 5 to 6 piece band. You're 3 people,
and we set up literally right beside each other.
We're all congealed up at front in the middle. Like there's no frill. There's lights around. That's cool. That's just extra atmosphere. But we want you to focus on us.
Yeah,
that's the deal. And with My Hands to War, it's not so much as we want you to focus on us.
It's got a tighter projection. Like
yeah.
Whoa,
that was weird.
That was weird.
That got caught in the back of the throat.
Yeah,
the old glottis. But yeah, once that first note hits, it's like I know that there's 4 other people. I'm mainly using My Hands to War as an example for this, but like when that first note hits, there's Todd, there's John, there's Cody, there's Corey, but I'm in fucking control. That's how I feel. Like I do write the majority of the music for the band, but I also am way more open to new ideas. I think that's one reason why this band still works. If we had gone about it with me bringing songs and being like, all right, they got to be played like this, like back in the old day, I don't think it would have. I think we would have fizzled out after the comeback show
for sure.
But that's that's me growing and maturing. But
that's part of all this too. That's part of the conversation is sharing responsibility and sharing all of it.
Right.
Like everybody's got to do like their thing.
Right.
And you have to bring something to the table because we're all trying to make it one thing. Like it's 5 people making one art,
one thing.
Like it's like 5 people making a painting, but you can't all be painting different things. Or it's not going to work. You have to have some.
Y'all in the same band though, so I mean, y'all have to pretty much almost have the same kind of goals for the project that you're in with other people. I mean, you have to be able to be flexible to accept new input and even constructive criticism about.
Well, I mean, going off what Corey was saying, like you have 5 people making a painting. Not all of you are painters.
That's true too, and but some people are great tracers.
Exactly.
And you need those too. So
no, totally. I also kind of attribute,
but not everybody thinks like you and me.
That's true.
When you're writing these style of songs, it's confusing because you're like the possibilities are almost endless, but at the same time you're trying to funnel all that down to kind of like have like a song. So you want some arrangement
to go off that. So one thing real quick, I think one reason why me kind of being the spearhead for a lot of the musical portion of My Hands to War is that I was one of 4 team captains my senior year in football. I wasn't the most aggressive. I was a lineman. I didn't get that many tackles. I played offense mostly. I snapped the ball. I was a center. But one of the reasons why I was voted captain is because every single play we had, I knew what every single person did. So I could, especially if I was on the sideline, I could kind of like, and I did it very rarely, but it's like, I could offer insight and perspective and all that stuff.
Well, I mean, even in our band, you can literally play every part and sing every lyric for almost every song on every instrument.
Well, I think that's because
I couldn't fucking begin to tell you.
Right.
What
well, it's just
that
like that's one reason why I do write like the majority of it, like both guitar parts, the bass, the drums, sometimes the lyrics, all that stuff. It's because like in my head, I know what I want. I know what I want projected. And then it's me taking this part and giving delegating parts to each member and hoping that they don't have to see the exact vision, or maybe we meet on the vision, but like they want their projection a little bit differently. And that's where like, once we do the meeting part, that's when shit becomes less stressful for me. It's just like, I can trust you completely with your part to do whatever it is you want to do, but you still want to meet the collective projection. And then the second thing is like, just like you said, like we're just kind of thrown into this chaotic soup and everything when we write, especially these kind of songs. I think the easiest thing to tether ideas for us is that you and me have just been playing together so long. We know what we want to hear.
Yeah.
And it's not even like, oh, they want to do a song that has this style of part in it. It's like, no. Like,
we actually use different words. We don't use like, hey, what about like if it had like a E-Tids kind of vibe thing? No, we use like gravel and soft.
We use very strange adjectives to describe our parts. It's like, what if you had a part that sounded like
diamonds scraping across charcoal? Like,
I was just about to say diamonds scraping across something. That's our brain's the same. It's like if you could plug a diamond into an electrical socket, but you don't shape the plug, or you don't shape the diamond like a plug. You force that diamond into the socket and it creates a light. Like, that's, if you threw a Jaguar.
And then we try to make a musical interpretation of whatever the fuck that means.
All right, so this part sounds like if you threw a Jaguar into city traffic, but walled it off in a four-way,
and then dropped a lawnmower on top of it.
Yeah, what would that sound like? all the horror chords that you hear in My Hands to War, it's me and Corey.
Those are mowed up Jaguars.
All right, death match between Luke Skywalker and Mike Tyson.
I'm taking Tyson if there's no lightsabers involved.
Oh, well, if there's a lightsaber involved, Tyson's toast.
Yeah, well, duh.
But he would still get one little quip in, like, I bet you'll eat it. That was really mean. I'm sorry, Mike. Please don't punch me in the face.
I want him to.
All right.
I'd watch that. For
but yeah, no, there's a chaotic soup, and you and I just kind of, it's like Corey throws an idea out, I throw an idea out. A lot of the times they just bounce off of each other. But what's like the residue that's left from the bouncing off, that's where we're like, oh, look at that.
Yeah, there's been tons of times where we're writing a song and then we'll go and there's a part we play for that song and we're like, no, that's not a thing, but then that part will become its own song.
Mm-hmm. Y'all just press icing that graphite. So
yeah,
we're graphene,
right?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. It just also, especially with like the way that we write Lame Johnny songs now, I feel like it's way more.
That's way different.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna say I wish it's how My Hands to War would be, because I do like the control and the
control freak
and the over. So it's the only thing I can control, man.
That's true.
So I gotta hold on to that shit. But it's like, instead of being the overseer, shout out to that band, for My Hands to War, like I am for My Hands to War, it's like in Lame Johnny, I'm at the bottom rung, and we all, like, let's say finishing the song is climbing a mountain. You know, we might all reach it at different points, but at some point we're all meeting at the same spot,
right?
Yeah. And then from that point we can reach the peak together. Like one of the new songs we're writing, The Scam.
Oh, it's wrote.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, I'm you know what I'm saying, right? Though. Like it's still new.
Yeah, we're playing that shit soon live.
It literally came out. Corey said, play a drum beat like this. And it's the opening drum beat with the tom, the bass, and the snare. And he was like, well, I did that a couple times. He's like, what would sound good over that? I was like, dude, just chunk. Just like all X's on the frets. He's like, okay. So he starts chunking, and he was like, all right. And then he just started like vocalizing a lyric idea. This is before he wrote words. He started vocalizing.
Yeah, I do like da 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 da. Yeah, you know, like that kind of stuff.
And then once it came to
harmonizing,
we wrote the fucking song with no bass, and so the verses are just those chunks. So, and then once Cody came in, he was like, "What do I do here?" And me and Corey were just like, "I don't know." And then like after like what, it was like 5 minutes, I was like, "Hey, why don't you play this progression?" Because then when it meets up in the chorus, like it still fits. And so Cody's like, okay. So we played it once like that, and then we didn't practice it for months.
Yeah, it was a while.
But
we were busy.
But now we have, like, it's really fucking solid.
It's another song where like the bass is the forefront of the song for most of the song.
Hells yeah.
It's also lyrically really deep. And
Ooh, buddy, is it? I went on a fucking tangent.
Mm-hmm. I co-wrote the second verse.
He sure did. Took only 3 months. Huh? What? But it's
it's cool because I mean I've been able to experience some of the developing styles like when y'all were in My Hands to War. Granted, it was a little bit different lineup. And the same thing with Lame Johnny y'all being able to take on different jobs from different and it not really being an issue.
That too, and like from band to band,
at least from outside,
you tend to grow. Because like all the things, especially when like My Hands to War ended, you take all the shit you didn't like and you carry that to the next band, and you try to get rid of as much of it as human. You can't get rid of human nature.
Yeah.
Right.
There's gonna be tiffs and bullshit, but you try to do things more right the next time with the next project, and I think
I'd say we did that.
I think that's why Lame Johnny is so accessible. It's so like people just like it, man, and it's really cool. And it's cool to have a thing that you can all work on together, and people actually respond to it. And
I honestly think people like Lame Johnny not because they may like us as people and they support it. They may really like the music and support it. I think there's an intangible in there somewhere that people just
like a vibe.
People just get it.
It's got a vibe to it.
Yeah.
Well, it's got like something for everybody, man. It's got like a bluesy overtone over the whole thing. It's got a southern feel all over the whole thing.
There's still a lot of aggression
aggression, but with a lot of rock and roll.
Yeah, well, I mean, and we have said in public at shows that some of the like, especially with Shimfo and all that stuff, like some of that, like with the version of Lame, I know,
Shimfo,
R.I.P. the best band you've never heard.
Yeah, I've already told Corey, I was like, man, I miss shooting
dude.
Shimfo.
We fucking talked about it the other day.
Yeah, we should bring that back.
Yeah, we can fucking teach John second guitar. That way I don't have to.
True.
But the whole point of us getting a drummer
so you could play guitar.
Yeah, because Corey and I have never played guitar together.
It's the only thing we haven't done yet is play guitar together on stage.
We have played drums together in an idea.
Yeah.
House meets elephant.
Yep. Should work on that again too.
Yeah.
Well, we're in like 15,000
I know.
things. But let's get to like some more of the. So in the early days, man, especially like when you're just starting out, you don't really fucking know. You think you do. You're cocky. You're headstrong. You got your 5 songs. You're coming fresh out of the basement. Mom's
and you can
house.
watch all the YouTube videos you want.
It doesn't mean shit. There's ideas.
You can watch videos, but you can't just randomly learn experience.
It's something you have to learn for yourself. You can
walk in the room, man. That really only comes from experience and being able to.
I was just about to say you cannot match the experience with. You can do all the research and all the studying up you want. It's just like taking a fucking test, man. Like there's always going to be something thrown in there that throws you off. Always.
Right. Well, until you've encountered a lot of it, you never know how to work around it. So that's kind of what I want to talk about. Is like, when you're new, you walk in. Generally, you're the first guy, right? Mm-hmm. And you set your shit up. Typically, you're in 19 other people's way. You're not asking the proper questions. You're just kind of doing whatever. And maybe you're just intimidated by the moment. So you're just kind of like haphazardly doing things, like scared almost, because it is fucking, it's nerve wracking. I've been doing it for how long? And you still get your fucking, it's not anxiety, it's adrenaline. Your adrenaline starts pumping and you just start like fucking getting all tunnel vision on the goal. Energy. Yeah. So sometimes you step on other people's toes and all that kind of shit. But, I think aesthetics are such a big deal that people don't take into consideration when they're first going out there and getting into shit, like more than just your tone. Like, I've seen bands put like so much effort into like what they're wearing versus how they're playing. And it's like, no, it's the opposite. Like if you want to wear like a thing, cool. But once you've got that down, all that is putting on clothes.
Yeah.
There's nothing to that. But if you come into a venue and your amp stage left is pointed directly towards stage right, and that guy's amp is behind somebody else's amp off to the left, and your drummer is, in
the fucking parking lot.
Basically. And your singer just kind of fucking turns around the whole time. There's a lot of things going on there that even though people don't realize why they don't like it, it's because when they watch these bigger bands who have been around and seen things, they do things a certain way because that's the sign. Like, people have done the math. They're like, if we set things up this way, it has a certain appeal, and that's what people like, and it's comfortable. So when you go to a huge show, you're always going to see everything facing forward, and sometimes the drummer will be in like a different spot, unless they're doing something really experimental, like Sevendust, who played in a U shape.
Yeah,
you know,
or Glassjaw, where they play super close together and they face each other.
Yeah,
they don't face the crowd. Well, they do now, but for a while when they first did their comeback, they played in a tight knit square where they only face each other. Like,
right.
Daryl's back was to the crowd.
And I saw a band one time where the drummer was the front man, so he was in the front man position, and the rest of the band was behind him, and they all played facing backwards. But the amps were all facing forward facing.
They were flush.
That's a huge thing, because especially if you're coming in there with a combo amp, you know, they're going to mic it and everything, but you still need everyone that isn't behind, everyone that's in front of the PA, i.e. like they can't hear what's coming out of the PA, maybe just the vocals, they're really getting a monitor more. Like the people at the front of the fucking stage, they're not going to be able to hear you if your guitar is pointed at the other end of the stage. You know, you have to face shit forward. You have to get it nice and tight. And a good rule of thumb is to put the front of your cabinet should be level and square and even and straight ahead to the front of your kick drum.
Yep.
And you want to get those as not as tight as humanly possible, but maybe a foot off each side, and try to be equal distant with everything. Think about like
the symmetry, basically.
There is a lot of symmetry based in there, but also like, you know, when we walk into a place and Justin goes, all right, so what are we going to do? And say the stage is like a L, like the old Juanita stage.
Yeah.
You got that fucked up drum riser, and it's like, okay, well, the drums have to go here. There's only one way to do it.
Yeah.
Now, do we put our cabinets in front of the drummer, or do we put them down the side of the stage? And you have to like feel your way around that kind of shit. Well, how many bands are there? Okay, are we backlining? Are we doing festival style load in? These are questions you need to ask the promoter. As soon as you get there, you need to ask, are we backlining? Where does our equipment need to go? Don't just set it on the fucking stage and expect people to walk around it. You know, we view it as like duh shit now, but back at, you know, 20 years ago, we were just as blind and stupid.
And for the most part, especially for new bands and all that stuff, like I understand that you can be intimidated, and I understand there's a lot of process that it goes in. Like, seriously, like if you find your promoter or find the sound guy or find someone who works at the venue who might know something and all that stuff, like it literally never hurts to ask, and just
if you don't know, ask.
Yeah,
they'll tell you.
And
you
literally just
say your stuff. Ask somebody.
Yeah, and just and be just as open as possible. Just be like, hey, I'm in this band. You know, we're new. We don't really know what we're doing. Like, where do we need to set our stuff? Like, where do we need to put our gear? You know, and then, if they have a back room for the gear, like the back part of Vino's, all that stuff. Like, if they have that room, like, use that to your advantage. Have everything set up and ready to go. Boom.
Yeah. Typically, they just do drum sets back there because it's so small. But, there is like an order to things, and that's what I'm trying to.
I mean, if you're going to
help.
I still feel that if you're trying to break into the local scene and say like you're trying to get a show at Vino's, but your new band never played a show, like I just feel maybe some reconnaissance work, like just go to a show there,
schmooze.
Well, that's what you used to do.
Talk to somebody, be like, hey man, we're trying to get our stuff together to be able to start doing shows. Like, is there any helpful tips? Because this, it's much appreciated. Which most of the stuff you can find online.
Yeah, there's a lot of this stuff, but it's cool.
But there's also a lot of bad information.
Well, that's true too, man. And you gotta weed through the bullshit. One of the worst things. This is quite possibly one of the worst things you could ever do, and we bring it up on this. But now that this is specific to this episode, is when the show's over, when your show is over, and the next band's coming up. If you're not the headlining band, don't put a single fucking thing in a case. Just take it where it is, get it the fuck off the stage. You should be able to break your entire shit down, and you should practice this. This is like literally run drills like a fire drill. Yeah. You should be able to break down your entire set in 5 minutes. All of it. Cymbal stands out with the cymbals on them. Guitars out, set them on top of the case outside. You can put it in the case as soon as you get out there. Fucking amp heads, rock them out the fucking door, leave the cables attached, put them in the handle, and grab the whole thing as one.
You can talk to Ricky in about 10 minutes. That's all it's going to take at most.
Yeah. And another thing,
It should be. We can do ours, and we have an entire light show. We can do the whole thing in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can break down our entire set. That's fucking 2 pedal boards, an entire bass rig, 2 guitar amps, one with a built-in lighting console, and an entire light show and an entire drum set. Plus, we all carry our own microphones and stands. 5 minutes.
What I was about to say was what I usually do, because I'm usually on that. Like we'll use Vino's as an example. I'm on the side of the stage nearest the exit door on the side. I try to get my cables wrapped up, placed on the pedal board, and get everything unhooked from the amp. And then my job is usually to make sure shit gets outside.
That's it. Usually by the time I've put my sticks down and grabbed, my first order of business is undo my
Bass
pedal, my kick drum pedal. I'll move my hi-hat off to the side because it's kind of attached. I put it's like through the leg or something. And then I will move my tom forward, and as soon as I'm done with that, I'll reach for something, and Justin's almost assuredly right there going, give me shit. And then Todd is pulling down lights, and everyone else is breaking down their own stuff. And what's hilarious is most times Justin's actually the guy to get his shit off last because he's helping everyone else, and then we all push his rig out because that's the heavy one.
Well, and usually like what Corey's job after he gets, like when he's handing me his first cymbal, usually I always think it's easier once you get your drum set outside, because that's the thing that is in the center of what we already do.
It's the most cumbersome of
well, and the other drummers trying to get in there, and that's what takes all the time. Yeah. Drums first.
Yeah.
Leave the cymbals on the fucking stands.
Yes.
Don't touch that fucking wing nut. Stop doing that shit. It's so fucking annoying to everyone. Anyone who's a seasoned band is rolling their fucking eyes at you going, these motherfuckers.
And you can have one person stay outside.
Yeah, of course you can.
I mean, you should have one person outside.
Well, I mean, normally it shows it's either
but typically,
you or Nick.
Most bands have a buddy or two.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too.
That they'll just come up and help, dude. It's the best.
Yeah,
that's what playing in your hometown is the best. Because dude, there's even been shows, some Lame Johnny ones. I get pulled away, man, and then I look back and there's like 10 friends helping, and I'm like, I feel like absolute dog shit.
Yeah, but all right. So we can get into that too. Cody and I honestly don't care.
I know
that's your band, and honestly, we need to. You're the one with all the insight on the shit. So like the psychology of Lame Johnny, that literally all rests on you. So when you're talking to people, I know you look back and you're like, the only time me and Cody have ever like stopped you from talking, it's just because he and I need direction on the order, what things need to
push.
Go.
Yeah, the push.
Yeah, normal. And like, I don't have a problem being delegated a task. Well, if you just tell me to do something, I'll do it.
That's another thing I wanted to talk about too was a lot of times bands, like, there's typically someone in charge, but you need to place responsibilities on certain people so you're not doing it all. Like when it comes to load in, load out, right? There should always be like a guy who knows if you're packing it in a trailer or a car. In some bands, if you're using 5 cars, you're carrying your own gear. That's kind of on you. It's a little bit different. But if you have like a system, i.e. a van, trailer combo, or an SUV or something, you put your shit in. There's some guy that's in that trailer doing that, calling out, I need this, I need that. And you should have an order down. Like we write our shit down and post it on the wall. We'll take pictures.
It just makes life easier.
We'll take pictures with our cell phone if something. We've been adding a lot of new gear lately, so our pack has changed like 4 times in the last couple of months.
I mean, even drawing a piece of paper and drawing a diagram of what, and just label little boxes of what.
Let me tell you, Corey taking a picture of the pack. Not when we went to Memphis and back because we had the PA and all that stuff, but when we did the second pack for tour, having that picture was infinitely helpful. Like, to the point where like after like 2 or 3 days of doing it,
you didn't have to reference anything. You
were
just like this, that, the other.
Yeah, it was like, dude, when we did the Brewskis loadout, I think the only thing I carried up was the heavy amp. That's it.
I was like,
no, that was all me. Well, because you were still talking.
I was talking to people, and
and like.
But I think there are a lot of people helped. I can't remember. I really don't remember a lot.
One of Cody's friends that always comes to the show, he helped.
John? I think John helped.
John helped with a couple items. One or two of the Weak Will dudes helped too.
Right.
But like, I was in the car. I was like, we need this. like the air mattresses need to go up on top.
Right.
Give me this shit. Like, and that's just from doing that with him for so long. And like, that's another, if you have a trailer, set a pack system. It is number one. It might take a while the first time, and it might take a little bit of getting used to, but trust me, when you have your pack system down, things become so much easier.
And you can pack up in no time and get right back in the venue. And especially if you're not last, you can get right back in the venue. And hell, even if you are last, you can get right back in your car quicker.
Exactly.
It sucks to be just sitting out there.
Not only does it make the loadout easier, but the load in though for the next day, because you can stage your shit to the point where it's what goes on stage
right.
first.
And if you have hands, like say you pull up and you're on a decent show, you're going to have stage hands that are available to you. It's going to make it easier on them too, because you're going to be saying things and they're going to be, oh, okay, cool. And they're just handing you shit. It's so nice.
Yeah.
I've done that shit for about on and off like 10 years, man.
I was going to say, I feel like with you guys and, me being kind of the other load, because you and me are the load dudes for the bands. Yeah. That's fine. It's a thankless job that I don't have a problem doing. And especially the last couple shows, My Hands to War shows at Vino's, I've been the dude that's in the trailer like, hey, hand me this and all that stuff.
I'll usually start it. I'll get like the first 3 things in there, and then you'll take over because I'll be like, where the fuck is this? And have to go hunt stuff
exactly.
down.
I would rather be the dude that's packing rather than the dude that's hunting. But I feel like with you two dudes, especially working production, like you said, like having hands, and especially with a band that knows what they're doing and all that stuff, like I think the quiet conveyor belt, you don't have to say anything. It's just they hand you a thing and you just know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's mega helpful for the band, especially if they're like a touring band. And with you guys, because y'all don't have to, you don't have to waste as much time communicating. It's just like you look at each other, you're like, oh, that.
And there's a way to carry yourself too. Like when you walk into a venue, ask for help or whatever, but also familiarize yourself.
Yes.
If you plan on coming back, especially if it's in your local scene and you're new to it, man, ask, oh, you're the sound guy? Oh, hey, man, my name's Corey.
Intro City.
Oh, dude. And shake their fucking hand, look at them in the eye. Like, not creepy, but like make a presence.
Yeah. I mean, this is a professional setting. Granted, it's a different atmosphere.
Right.
No, but it's the same type of atmosphere when you're going to a fucking meeting for a promotion with your boss.
But it shit goes a long way, man. It shit goes a long, like common courtesy and general morality goes a long fucking way when if you're nice to them, they're going to be nice to you.
Yeah.
And sometimes not. Like we got fucked over in Chicago. That dude was a dick, even though I was nice the whole time. But shit happens.
You literally can't win them all.
But he's the fucking he comes out looking like a clown
at the end
on that one because he was the one who couldn't get his attitude in check. So it's like, okay, man, whatever. No big deal. I'm off to the next city. Bye.
Yep.
But also not only lists for your trailers, but knowing ahead of time, like that whole guessing your monitor mix thing, like everyone's like, well, no, never, can I get this and that? Like something almost every touring act has is a sheet. And just, even if you just know the sheet by mind, when the guy's up there, just tell him, hey man, as far as the monitor mix is concerned, we need this across the board, which would be your general stuff like kick, snare, whoever the main guitar player is, either left or right stage, and then be like, and then typically what is in or out of mixes mostly will be bass and vocals. Like you need bass in this monitor, but nobody else does, and then the drummer needs no vocals, which I'm a no vocal guy. I hate fucking vocals in monitors.
Well, see, I mean, my Hands to War took a long time to finally get to where we wanted for monitor mix. Well, maybe for me, just because like I used to be like, I need all my vocal so I don't sing out of tune and everything. Just because when you're playing that shit, you can't. Man, I'm just telling everybody right now, if y'all come see us live, like if you're like, wow, that guitarist singer sucks and all that stuff, you're probably fucking right. But I don't care because I'm performing. You're not. I mean, I definitely try to put on a good show and like make sure everything's right. But
y'all sound check though is one of the smoothest ones I've seen because y'all know who May is, right? The band? Yeah, they had a 4-hour fucking sound check at Rev.
What the fuck?
4 fucking hours.
I couldn't do that.
And it's one of those things like
shouts out to May, they rule, but like,
I mean, I get like finding frequencies and stuff.
I just think it was almost like it was a power move because
that's definitely a power
people
move.
were like he was doing the whole like percentages. Like, I need 20% less.
No.
your ears can actually put that shit into percentages like that.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right. Good for you.
No, and what we came to find out is that the My Hands to War monitor mix is extremely simple. Kick snare across the board, my guitar, no vocals.
Yep.
Except I need just a little bit of me and mine, and that's it. Todd wants nothing. Todd doesn't want to hear himself.
No, I don't either.
And you don't either. Like
Every time I go to a Lame Johnny show and I say, can you take the vocals out? And he's like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, no vocals, please.
And
I'll fucking hear it. I'm the one singing it.
And like,
Fuck.
like when Lame Johnny first started, I needed Corey's vocals and guitar. Now I don't need anything. I really don't.
Yeah, just kick, snare, guitar.
Yeah, that's it.
Duh.
And even if I don't have a guitar, as long as I just as long as I can hear my kick and snare, I'm fucking.
Yeah,
going.
and when you're the drummer, sometimes you want to hear the bass, but a lot of times you're so close, the proximity to the bass cab, you're going to hear it anyway.
Well, and plus with the fucking rig that Cody has now, I don't need him in the monitor.
I haven't played drums on a stage with that rig yet, but I'm so excited to. Drums. I've played guitar.
Oh, that's
I've played
right. No, I was about to say
drums.
we haven't used that rig yet.
Take that fucking look off your face.
God, that shit sounds so good. Oh, it's unreal.
But another one.
Rickenbacker being played through it though.
Oh, dude, yeah, well, that would be cool. But we gotta, it's a sweet rig, dude.
It is. It's a
Bass is good. Goes into Sans Amp, MPEG, all the way down. It's fucking sexy bitch.
It's got a lot of balls.
It's got all the nuts.
Heavy in the ball department.
Well, let me put it this way: the first time I got to hear it was the house show in Memphis, the first day of tour, and Cody turned to 1.
Yeah,
and even then, it was like maybe this is a little too loud.
yeah.
Can we just turn it back ahead?
It was.
Can you imagine the situation where we need to turn it to 3? We'd have to be in a fucking airplane hangar by ourselves.
Yeah, you'd probably have to be in some open air stage, like outside or something.
That one sound counseling room. Let's go up to 3.
And really outdoor, they're going to DI you anyway, and you're just going to have that just so you can hear it. Right. It's more stage volume than anything. But, that's another thing, too, is knowing when and where to turn your fucking amp up or down. If they're micing that shit, man, 2 or 3, you're going to be all right. Maybe 4 if it's a bigger room, but you're going to be fine. This whole leaving it on 8 and shit, most monitor dudes or mixing guys are going to just pull you completely out of the mix and just let stage volume be it. And that throws the mix off.
Yep.
It makes your shit sound lopsided like a tire with a knot in it. Doesn't sound right.
Because your shit has to be on fucking 8 and 9.
Right.
Fucking cranked.
Right.
And then you want all your fucking your monitor to be blasting the same shit.
And if your sound guy says, "Hey, can you turn that down a little bit?" Fucking turn it down a little bit. He knows.
He's looking at little lights that go up and down.
that give him indicators of, hey, this might be a little bit too loud.
Well, and if he's the
breaking your speaker, hey, it's about to break your speaker.
But if he's the resident sound guy, he knows. Hopefully, now this is all hypothetical. Hopefully, he knows the room. He's going to know that if you come in there with a fucking half stack and you got that shit cranked to 7, it's like, you can't do this. Room's made of concrete. You can't fucking do that.
Any competent fucking sound engineer will be able to be like, no, turn your shit down.
Well, I was about to say, I'm going to be completely honest. The only time I think I've ever had my amp higher than like a 4 live was in my very first band, and it was my very first show.
Right, yeah, and you probably were just being stupid.
I was like 17, and the first
note
note
at practice volume.
First note I ever played live. This is a lot of people don't know this because I don't tell them the story. The first note I ever played live, my guitar came off my strap, and I broke my toe. My very first pluck of the string was plink on my foot.
That's hilarious.
It was at Vino's.
As the song was starting.
First fucking
I
donut.
love every
just an open drop D chord donut. Yeah. That's it.
Was that for
Evacuate the City?
Evacuate the Shitty. Yeah.
With the first show we ever played was for the thing to be on a soundtrack for some like B-rated horror movie, and we're actually in it. It's like 5 seconds apart.
I remember that. That was like a thing that they had at Vino's.
Mm-hmm. It was for like you had to. It was like 8 or 9 bands.
As
performed.
I just repeat everything you just said. Yeah.
Fuck you, dick.
I do remember it.
Well, no, I mean there's like a 95% possibility you were there.
No, I didn't go. No, I wasn't there. I specifically remember
There was a
not going.
100% possibility you didn't go.
Yeah.
So the 5% is where you were at.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The one show you didn't go to.
I was probably
Vino's.
across town doing something cool, like smoking cigarettes.
God, I
Vandalizing
want.
the
I want to take a podcast break so bad so we can smoke.
A what?
A podcast break so we can go.
Well, no,
smoke.
we would never do that.
No, I know. I just want to.
Well, you
Can we smoke in here, Corey?
hell fucking no. You kidding me?
No, we would die.
Dude, this table is precious, man. I don't want this thing to smell like your butthole. Yeah.
You can throw up on it. You can piss on it. Just don't smoke.
Just don't smoke it. Weed's fine. You can smoke your weed if you want. I don't care
Nah,
about
it's not
that.
on me.
Well, then good. So nothing's getting smoked in here.
Except Poles.
Though I do have a sickness again, so if my voice sounds
Although I
all...
do have these bath salts.
So if my voice... fuck you.
my throat's getting a little.
My throat
scratchy.
has fucking hamburger meat again. Just like what I had on tour. Same shit.
Mm.
I've felt
Love it.
shitty since like Thursday.
But I've been like trying to throw up, and I don't like throwing up, so I've been stopping it and been like, no. Like, go down.
I'm a control body, god damn it.
Like
today.
literally just said it and I dry heaved.
See? See? I hate it. I'm sorry. I hate throwing up.
The podcast for everybody.
I do have to pee though, so I will take a piss break.
Fine, whatever. He gets half a beer in him, and I gotta pee.
I've also
drank
that full thing of water.
Oh, okay.
All of the waters.
Just piss in your own mouth and keep going. I took it. Well, you took it off, so it's your own fault.
Yo,
Blame yourself. But like doing production, like now that's just the two production dudes in here.
Well, you're a musician as well. I'm
Well, you're kind of you. I mean, you play not very well, but it's fine.
I play very.
We all
well.
start somewhere,
Yeah,
Justin.
we
It's
do.
okay.
And I started at the bottom.
That's what this is
And now I'm
probably
still
trying to
there.
be. Like one of the biggest things we run into is, like especially when it comes to a professional act, and then there's a smaller act. It's usually a local band.
Well, most my anxiety doesn't come from my my abilities and my belief in myself. I'm like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
not sure if I can do this. Like, no, I can
Well,
do
I'm just saying, like,
the whole job. It's just dealing with these people that.
But like those local guys come in, and especially when they're like, okay, so one of the big deals for a local band is to get on the big show. You know, you want to play with that band that's coming through, but you see a lot of stammering.
yeah.
You see a lot of I don't know what to do because the way a big show runs and the way a small show runs are fucking light years
We
apart.
don't have time for bullshit.
There's no bullshit. You have to be on
Like,
your
if
fucking
if
feet.
you're lollygagging, like you're taking your time, like I'm gonna get your shit off
Oh,
stage.
you'll get run over. You
Yeah.
will literally get run over. I've
Yeah.
seen it happen.
Like if you want,
Yeah.
you're taking your drum set apart on stage, and there's still fucking 7
Oh,
more bands to
dude.
play.
Yeah. No.
No, son,
No,
like no, get your shit off now.
And typically there's going to be like shit behind you, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of like misdirection. Like, where do I go? See, that's what
Because I know-
basically it's just like a lot of this stuff seems to be common sense, but you don't learn a lot of it until you've been in the shit.
Yeah,
But a lot of it is really just like awareness. Like if you're just aware of your surroundings, like even if it's just one guy in your band that does like a stage look, like he just goes around and like, oh, okay, hey, is this where we're taking everything up? Yeah, okay, cool. Where's it coming off at? Like that's a valid question.
man.
Hey, we're going off downstage, and that means towards the other side.
yeah. Knowing the terminology does help too. Like with stage left and right.
Well,
It's when you're on stage looking out, that's your left and right.
yes.
So when people say stage left, that's
But when you're looking at the stage, it's backwards.
Yeah.
So stage left would be on your right if you're looking at the stage.
but it's just easier to say
Right.
left right because like, well, which way you're talking
Well,
about?
you go from musician's perspective. It's
Yeah.
like when you're making an album. Do you go from the drummer's perspective or the crowd perspective? How do you mix it?
This is
I mix I mix drummer's perspective.
Oh, you do?
Yep. Because
That's why the album's so drum.
I basically want to put you in the driver's seat.
I got you.
I
But I'm talking
actually
about,
prefer,
I guess I was thinking of like mixing a live show.
well, but even when you're mixing, you mix from the other perspective because you're say stage left, and that doesn't mean the
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
So you're still using the same terminology, looking at the stage.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you're still mixing at a stage left right
Well,
perspective.
it
drummer's
takes the
perspective.
confusion out because you
Right.
that one extra word.
It is confusing. It confused the shit out of me, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like I've been here. I've done all these stupid things. That's why I'm doing this episode to try to like.
Well, I mean, I've worked
I
with
don't
bands
want
that have been on tour all year, and mistakes still get made.
Dude, yeah, this is not an overnight process.
Yeah.
It took me 20 fucking years to figure out 98% of it. And, you know, dropping shit, getting yelled at, telling me I'm a fucking idiot. Like, yeah, all those things happen and you learn from it. That's why those things happen. Because you're either going to learn or you're going to get the fuck fired.
Yep.
Or no one's going to have you back. You're going to fuck up enough where they're just like, we don't need you today.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
You know,
and then when with promoters, I've worked with promoters, man, that the same song and dance, that it's kind of shitty from the get go because the people bringing them in they don't know what the fuck's going on either, and when their TM is going to them,
yeah,
it upsets the flow.
Yeah.
Everybody's not happy. There's a tension in the air,
Yep.
and that just it makes for long nights and shitty nights.
It's a domino effect when.
Especially when you see like the headlining act, like their lead singer get through talking with the promoter and be fucking pissed.
Right.
Like,
I've seen that quite a few
Yikes.
times. I saw that with Every Time I Die here. That sucked.
Recently.
Friday. Yeah, I saw it with Every Time I Die. I saw it with Thursday. Actually got my picture taken with Jeff Rickley up there that
shit.
night. Yeah. Same night they said they'd never come back and didn't. Yeah, that was a great night.
Yeah, because they're
Wasn't that with because Heavy Lolo blew out the speakers or something?
Don't get me lying, I don't know, but that night went
But that was that show, right? Thursday, Heavy Lolo, somebody
so.
else.
I think
Yeah,
so.
no, everybody who went to that show that said there was some shit that went down.
It
They're
was
like,
bad.
Not
dude.
like if you're as like a concert goer watching the show, it's like the show itself wasn't bad. It's just like you could tell that there was just something wrong with the vibe.
Yeah. Well, it's because it spreads like fucking wildfire, man. When your crew's pissed and your bands are pissed and
it can text can ruin loadouts too.
Seven Dust.
Well, I was with Blackberry Smoke, and
Yeah.
their guitar tech was being a cocksucker. So our stage manager's like, "All right, all my guys are leaving. Get your shit off the stage."
Yeah. Bye. Good night. We're locking the doors
And
too.
the sheriff that was drunk that's been talking with all of us and our fucking boss, and they're like, "Yeah, you know, boys need to get the fuck out of town." I mean,
Oh, that's
Osceola,
fun.
Arkansas, it's in the middle of fucking nowhere.
I've been there.
Well, then, yeah, I definitely want to get out of town. I wouldn't want to be there in the first fucking place. Who was it?
It was Blackberry Smoke. The guys in the band were super cool.
It's always that shitty tech, bro. That's
Yep.
that Seven Dust, dude. Worst techs ever. Nicest band in the world.
Well, I've actually, it was that big fat guy, right?
Yep.
Because it was a shit show from the fucking beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Doors were held up for like an hour and a half.
Yep.
I was talking to another sound engineer that had the same problems with that guy, and they had this big festival. He's like, "Oh, we're playing over here in the arena," because he crossed past the dude. He's like, "Oh, I'm headed to this little satellite stage." He's like, "Oh, well, I'm up there in the arena, man. Good to see you."
Yeah.
Nice.
You either going up or you going out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say they're going out probably.
I mean,
Maybe not them as people. I like them. Dude.
yeah, I
They
mean,
were
them
fucking
as
cool
people,
as
but like
fuck.
the techs and stuff like that, the sound engineers, the TMs, there's the iconic assholes, but
Dude, they are
not
legendary.
today.
They are
You can't do
legendary.
that shit
You can't
today.
be an asshole anymore. Not to the people who are making your job easier.
Yeah,
If you got somebody loading gear for you, you better be fucking nice.
yeah.
Because, motherfucker, it could be your back loading up a semi of shit, literally.
Yes.
They had a 53-foot semi, and those ass turds decided it'd be a good idea to leave the drum kit on an aluminum riser
Yup.
and put it on the top. They had 2 levels in this semi, and you had to lift this gargantuan fucking
It was
drum
8
set.
guys, right?
Mm-hmm. And it was still almost impossible.
Yeah.
It was so fucking heavy. It was
it's just
stupid.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, you had to lift. You had to lift, and you better have everyone above 6 feet because you
Yeah.
had to lift it. It was at least 6 feet to the
mm-hmm.
where the thing would fit on the platform
they
they
had
had built.
they had it walking height,
Yeah,
so you had to be 6 feet and then have a decent arm span.
yeah,
Fuck all that.
and then be able to lift it
Yeah.
above your fucking head, dude. It was the worst. It was so shitty. And then when it was up there, you had to hold it in place while they bolted the damn thing back together because they would refix it together so it wouldn't move. I mean, holy shit. Yeah. So there's some nightmare shit. I mean, it's all good. There's going to be good and bad in all the shows and stuff. But like getting to a point where you're at least trying to bring your A game every time and having a packing system and breaking down your shit and setting up your amps properly. But it goes to more than that. Like I said, like you walk into a venue, don't just set your stuff up all like half-assed and haphazardly. Like put some thought into it, man. If you want to get creative, like be creative, but make sure the creativity is going to have a good flow for the sound. Think of the sound. Like when you get up there, try to picture the sound coming out in waves and how it's going to hit people in their ears. Like if my amp's facing the guitar player, it ain't hitting nobody. No one's going to fucking hear the goddamn thing
except me. The sound coming out of your speakers are coming out at fucking angles. So if you can be able to even visualize that, and if you're just starting out, it's kind of the best time to start playing with experimenting with shit to see if it will work setting it up. I mean,
right? Oh, dude, we do that shit.
Yeah.
We one of the two cool stories. Lame Johnny played down in is it Bear's Den Pizza? What's it in Hot Springs?
Grateful Head.
Grateful Head. What a fucking name.
You keep fucking it up every time. You keep saying Bear's Den.
I don't know what the fuck
We've never played Bear's Den.
I don't even know what that is.
That's in Conway.
That'd be interesting to see you play Bear's Den.
You think so? Couch Checkers play there.
I mean, it's a college town. It's
is that the one with the sign behind it? The road sign with the arrows?
I don't know. It's
maybe.
right by the. It's right.
Okay, so like, if you go,
I don't know. Anyway,
if you
it doesn't
go down,
fucking matter. I want to tell a story. Fuck that stupid ass place anyway. I don't know if it's stupid. I'm just kidding.
I mean, they have some pretty cool pizzas.
I don't care. We played it. It's great.
They're $5, Corey.
Fuck you. I don't care. So is Little Caesars.
And you control people.
And it's
on
right down the
tunes.
street.
Shut up.
Anyway, so we're playing at that fucking Grateful Head pizza place, and the stage is all of about 7 feet,
maybe.
Like it barely fit the drum kit, and we were like, "Oh shit, how the fuck are we gonna do this?"
How we got everything on stage and still managed to.
Well,
get
it was
all
awesome. So like, instead of like, there was 2 people there, and they were just kind of watching us. They were like, "Yeah, you can set up," and we roll all this big ass gear in there, and we're like, "Huh, okay, how are we gonna do this?" So I was like, "Okay." So we pulled all the ornaments off the stage because they had fucking stage ornaments. They do a lot of acoustic acts, I think. We pulled all that shit off stage, and then we basically made a wall on the back wall of our amps. Put the bass amp on one corner, put the guitar cabinet on another corner, and then put the heads dead center so Justin would be in front of them. Mm-hmm. That way the sound was coming out the sides with the amps, and then just turned them up a little bit because they had to get past the drum set.
Yeah.
That's another time is a good time to turn it up is if the drum's in front of the amp and nothing's mic'd, you're going to have to get past those loud ass cymbals.
Yeah.
But, walk out into the crowd, play your shit, and if you can hear everything good, great. If the guitar's too loud, turn it down again. But so then we set the drums up at an angle and what's left of the stage. And then we put all the ornaments back up like on our own amps. Mm-hmm. So it looked like we did it on purpose. And then we put a few lights out. Like they just stayed on because there wasn't any lights in the room besides like one overhead light, I think.
Yeah, and it was dim.
And then I put like between Justin and my amp, I put our Ego riser up there. So I had and then me and Cody played on the floor, and we had the PA speakers on either side of us, which we had to get brought in. Mm-hmm. But I made like a little walkway so I could walk around up and then play above Justin and like put my foot on like the hi-hat stand and sing into a microphone that I had behind him as well.
Yeah.
So it adds something to this tiny ass little hallway.
It was fucking wild.
But when we got done setting up and sound checked, the dude down there was like, "Dude, that's fucking awesome. Like we've never seen anybody do that before. Like y'all totally did your own thing." They were like, "That's really cool how y'all did that with the amps as a wall and all that stuff." And it was like, that's that shit, man. You just take a little time, think about it, and, go from there. It doesn't have to be the same all the time. The drummer doesn't always have to play at the back, He doesn't always have to be like scrunched up and like if anything, he needs the most room because he's the one whose fucking arms are flailing all around and he's got 19 things to hit. You're wearing your fucking instrument. And the other cool fucking thing is what I thought was going to be the stupidest thing ever turned out to be one of the coolest things ever.
Sorry.
Huh? Oh, yeah, you can pass it down here. That's fine. I'll drink what you didn't. Pussy.
I'm upcycling it for you.
But what's that band that John used to listen to a lot that you both liked?
Blood Brothers?
No, dude. He's got the tattoo on his chest.
Oh, Showbread.
Showbread.
Yeah.
One of the coolest fucking stories I have about like taking a like setting up your own thing. They come into Juanita's, old Juanita's, when it was on Main Street. Sorry for the coughing. I'm sick.
I'm sick too.
So they're down on Main Street, Juanita's, the original location.
Yeah.
They walk in, and I was working that show. And they were like, oh, man, okay, so you can see them, like, plotting. What are we going to do? And they're like, okay, guys, come help us. You know, we're there to help them load in. And they drop the trailer down, and it's literally a pile. It's just a pile of shit in a trailer floor. And you're like, what the fuck? Did y'all have, like, an accident? They're like, no, it's just how it's loaded in. I was like, okay. There's, like... There's like fucking wood pallets and shit in there, and you're like, what the fuck? Haggard ass shit is this?
They had the TVs.
Yeah. They had these old ass CRT monitor, like 40-inch televisions, heavier than a motherfucker. So we load basically what at the time looks like actual junk. It just looks like fucking junk. The drum set was broken. It was insane. I couldn't believe. I was like, I'd never heard him before. And I was like, this is the band everybody loves. And we bring it into Juanita's. We literally set it in the middle of the floor. And they're like, okay, we're good. And we're like, huh? You guys don't want to get... He was like, no, it's going to take a minute to set up. You guys can go get lunch. It was like, cool, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go eat lunch. I don't even know if I'm coming back. So we go get lunch. We go somewhere. We're gone for like a couple of hours. Dude, we come back, and from fucking stage right all the way around to stage left, they had built this wall of amp, TV, drum, TV, amp, and then they had something else. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't like a projector or anything. Maybe it was a flat screen tilted on its side or something. It was cool. But anyway, they were playing to a click track, but it was built. They had the files saved in an Apple TV, the old one, the big one.
Yeah.
And when they clicked play on this fucking thing, they played to this film that they had made that intertwined with their songs and came through on those TVs.
Oh, that's
as a
cool.
light show.
Yeah.
And the lights were off, and they played to that. And they had like a couple of blue lights and stuff over the drummer. And all that broken bullshit turned into one of the coolest fucking setups I've ever seen a band do with just nothing, like DIY as fuck. But they managed to pack all that into some sort of performance art, and it was just like, that was one of those times where you really had to eat your words.
Yeah.
Like the pros came in and showed you how it was done. You're like, okay, you guys literally took a pile of shit and in 2 hours turned it into one of the neatest.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like how Jucifer. That's how they do
Jucifer?
it. Yeah, because I mean they're a 2-piece and they just have a wall of fucking bass cabs. And we did them when we had them at downtown music hall. It was like, all right, we got them in. All right, cool, we got it from here. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
All right, well, we'll see you later.
That was like ICP too, man. As soon as you got those bass cabs in, it was just like, we're done. We're like, what?
We're gonna hang these expensive ass lights from this truss that's not rated for it. Okay.
We've been here for an hour. He's like, yeah, we're good, man. Okay.
That's crazy to me that like you just bring all that shit and they're like, all right, we're good.
No, yeah, it's wild. It's weird when they do that.
I mean, like we just had North Mississippi All Stars at Rev. I mean, I got sick before I could actually go to work, but I did the load in, and like what Justin was talking about earlier about walking around the room and stuff, like those guys have played that room numerous times, and they walked around it because they switched up how they did their guitar and bass.
Yeah, so they're still scoping shit out.
Yeah, and the guy was up on stage for like a good 20, 30 minutes kind of getting his placement setting. I mean, they were the headliner, so they were setting their gear up, and they was going to stay there. But he was still messing with it, and kind of he'd put stuff up, kind of take a step back, look at it, and then go grab something else and fucking add it to the stack of amps and fucking fucking cabs, because they had like 2 Cat 5s. Yeah,
interesting.
Jeez.
They made it work. So.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's like all that stuff adds up to a great performance later.
Yeah.
Like you're really thinking about the end result, and the end result is something you're trying to convey to people if it's your message or whatever. And not everybody uses these tools, but you should at least utilize some of the procedures that we've been talking about. Like not everybody has a light show and not everybody does production work. It definitely adds an element.
There's the different, like the kind of the tiers of once you're going up with your production value for your band. Like with My Hands to War, I mean, the lighting show you'll have now is,
but it's
the
as
dopest
much
I've seen. But y'all been working at it for so long.
Yeah, dude. And our first version was Home Depot work lights with a fucking surge protector glued to a box. Like, and then Todd's next version was literally, like, most people probably don't even know, but it was a box that he put a bunch of single gang boxes in and then loaded up with a bunch of dimmer switches. And then from those dimmer switches wired in an Edison socket to the other side.
Right,
so they would all plug in on one side, and then you would have push button, because, you know, dim switches you push.
Yeah.
So you would have push button control and dim control. So you could dim all the lights and still push them off and on. And you had to do it one button at a time. You had to do one push for on, one push for off. It wasn't a momentary switch where you just push and hold and let go.
Yeah.
And it was the most archaic shit. So we went from that to we have a fucking light guy, and we have thousands of dollars in lighting and a smoke machine and all this crazy shit. But that light show for My Hands to War is as important as
the music,
and
the performance,
because it's become such a part of our nature, and that's why it's gotten to where it is. Because every year and a half or so, we're like, we got to do it better.
Yeah,
we got to go bigger.
and when it's not even necessarily, it's just like, oh, let's up the ante. It's just we just look at what we have and we're just like, bro, we're fucking bored. Like this is cool and everything, but like we could do something way cooler. And I feel like we go bigger, but we also streamline it at the same time.
It's the smallest it's ever been,
and the biggest,
it's ever been.
Yeah.
Like we have more controllable lighting.
Yeah,
but they're small. They're skinnier. They're more efficient.
Oh,
they are actually controllable, not from on stage.
Well, I mean, you'll have moving lights. So I mean, that's.
Well, we had a light guy until the day we ended. Right, we had a guy on stage with us doing lights until we called it quits in 2012. See, I don't even know. And then when we came back, it was, we can't fucking do that. We have to find some automated way of doing this.
Yeah.
And then we get like a half-ass automated way. And we rolled with that for a little bit. And now we're to a point where it's like, we got to have a guy. And we got to have these systems and these procedures. And like, we have to have, and now that's part of our load in. And that's part of our pack. And that's part of our, you know, when I get in there now, I'm bouncing ideas off the lighting guy too. It's like, well, we can run a cable down here, or if they have a snake, it's like, okay, we can just steal a channel from the snake. We'll patch in on this, you know, on this end, and we're just going over everything, man. And it's always, that's what it is. It's all in the details. You can say it till you're blue in the face, but it really does count, man. All that shit adds up to when you're finally on stage and you're taking your place, and you know, I think the worst thing we have is we still don't do cable checks. We're fucking notorious for a cable just shitting out like mid-song. You know,
It happens.
You know, shit, you know. We should probably buy better cables.
No, man, we got those monster cables. Lifetime warranty, baby.
You know, we have a monster cable. Not every one of those cables is a monster cable.
I'm sorry. What was this?
Justin!
What was behind the cough fuck face? That was way less subtle than I wanted it to be.
Yeah, not very subtle at all.
Both of you can eat a dick. TM.
TM? What does that mean?
Trademark.
Oh.
Circle C.
What?
Copyright.
Bitch.
Are restricted.
Was it rare?
That's this conversation.
Restricted? This is a
No,
restricted.
it's getting ridiculous.
It's getting. Ha 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 ha.
So why wasn't Donkey Kong called Monkey Kong?
I don't fucking know.
I'm just saying.
Because he said Rare.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's the company that makes the game.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I hate all of you. There's only two of you. Y'all are starting to morph into like looking the same.
Oh God,
it's just two Justins and a Corey.
I don't like it. Never again.
All right, new podcast name: Two Justins and a Corey.
Two Justins and a Corey do gay things to each other in secret with the lights off.
That's episode 1 and the final
with the lights on.
We all die in shame. Nah. So, I'm trying to think of some other points I really wanted to bring up. My sick brain is. I'm trying not to cough right now, so my throat's hurting like unreal. I'm actually probably gonna do a line of cough drops real quick. And I don't have them. Great.
Well, all right. If you guys are hearing this is Corey Fisher's last podcast.
Yes.
No.
He died 30 minutes later.
He was just go straight Cleveland boys.
So, where were we before you tangented off and now I hate you? Where were we? See,
we were talking about your lights and then how it's transformed from.
Oh yeah, and it's the.
Thank you, Justin.
You're welcome.
Not you. So anyway, you only get to those points by forcing yourself to do different things, trying out new shit, making the best of it. Like our light show when we came back, dude, was on a budget, and Todd was like the first one on our comeback show was actually a lot of our old shit plus some things that Todd had made for another band that were in the same idea. So we were just like, well, let's just use all this. And then after that night, we blew up like 3 of those towers and fried fucking straight fricassee to strobe light.
Yeah.
Toasted it like a fucking strudel. Get it? But anyway, so after that, me and Justin, we go to Home Depot because we're like, well, I guess we're back to this. And dude, we spent was at least 2 hours.
I would
wandering around trying to find dude, you should have seen it. We had
inspiration.
We had mesh sheets out, trying to bend them and okay, man, we could do this thing and we could fold it like this and shove Christmas tree lights in there and make it was so many ideas. Fucking ridiculous the shit we were coming up with.
But those ideas needed to be almost be set right to get to the good ones.
But not only that. So it was for every good idea one of us would have with whatever we were looking at, it was the other person would come in 45 seconds later, we would put it in the cart and we're about to move on to the next thing.
Literally.
And then it'd be but when we do that, what, this, and we're well, fuck, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
That, it'd be dude, every single idea was just immediately shot down and we were so discouraged. And then we just
we were leaving. We were leaving.
We walked through
y'all took the right steps though in doing something
we totally
that to be
did.
able to get your hands on the things and actually physically look at the shit.
Right. And the ideas we had were good, but in the end, the end result would just be something that would have wasted time and wasted money. And it would have looked cool once or twice, but then the novelty would have worn off and we'd just been well, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah, we would have wasted a couple $100 on nothing. But then we were walking out and Justin goes, we should go to the light section one more time, just schmooze around and see if there's just something in there. And we're fucking looking around and he goes, what about this thing? And he points up at this light, this single bar light. And we find it down below and start reading on it and shit. And we're like, oh my God. And we find these LED bulbs. If anyone wants to know what My Hands to War's light show is made of, they're literally Home Depot lights, the big tall light towers. They're 2 foot, 3 foot, and 4 foot sections. They're LED filament paper. There's no bulb in it. There's really nothing you can break.
I was because there for a second I was well, that shit must break a lot because y'all.
No. That's what's great about it.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah,
right.
But they're instant on, instant off. There's 0 warm up time. Doesn't matter what the temperature is. They're as bright the first time you turn them on as they are the last time.
Yep.
And the lifespan. This is the kicker. 500,000 hour lifespan.
That's ridiculous.
It's your whole life. You can have that light show to the day you fucking die. You'll never burn one up. And they're linkable. You can
chain them,
chain these things together in parallel and run series of lights. Yeah, and you could even put, if you were really smart, you could actually splice in a little doodad to make the signal go back. I forget what they like a transistor or something, to where when it hits the end of the line, it'll actually come back across the line. It'll send the electrical pulse back.
Yeah.
So it'll blink forward and then blink backwards. Can't remember what that. It's not transistor. What the fuck? Maybe resistor. I can't remember. I'm not too great with electrical shit.
Better than I am.
I will get electrocuted.
It's a daisy chain till it gets hot.
The speaker's glowing, Grandma. Just keep putting them in, Timmy. What? You never heard of Granny Smith's production stuff?
I mean, there's a.
That
I
was
think I still
terrible.
have the picture of like we fucking when I was with the Sound Logic, we put a bunch of those 3-way plugins.
Yeah.
We stacked like 6 of them, and then plugged in like a couple surge protectors.
Nice.
Like, is this safe?
It's technically legal.
Like the new 28 outlet fucking.
Yeah.
May not be safe, but it's legal.
You can actually daisy chain. I mean, it's not smart, but
Definitely not safe.
You can keep going as long
you just keep going. Yeah. Because they have fuses in them, so they're rated to be. Nah, dude. But so another thing about the performing on stage, another thing me and Justin like to do, or just all of our bands, we do a hype chant now. I think that's great for a multitude of reasons. One, it brings you together right before the moment's about to happen, so you feel like that collective energy.
Yeah.
And we've been doing that for a couple years now. I think it actually started when My Hands to War was going out.
Yeah.
Like towards the end,
Yeah.
we started like doing little chants and stuff. And I don't mean like Gregorian, like oh, like,
Yeah, we all isolate ourselves in a room and just.
I mean like
Y'all took a
1,
leap.
2, 3, banana. You know, like
Yeah.
whatever
it
it is.
wasn't a leaf out of the Immortals book, right?
No.
But those are really awesome. And butt chug the thick water. Thanks, Justin.
Do you not remember that?
I do.
Okay.
But we come up with like every show is different, so every show has a different catchphrase, and most time the word is like something that has happened or something funny somebody said. So when you're on stage and you're in a local venue, everyone's going to hear you say it. So you 1, 2, 3, and then you say some random ass shit. It's like it starts things off in a positive manner.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I've seen bands like come in and it's like their first show. This actually happened in My Hands to War show last year, 2017. This band, like just getting going, and we let them play the show and we put them on first, and they like, I don't know, dude, like just the world was not on their side that night, man. They had like a flat or some shit, or they left something, had to go back. I can't remember what they show up late and we're like, dude, it's cool, man, chill. And then like they set up in a way that's not really great. The drummer's kind of like not centered. The amp is tilted at a fucking angle, of course. And cause guitar players think they need to hear themselves 100%. And then, you know, the bassist is pushed back behind the drum kit. It's like, well, nobody's going to hear that. But they did good. That's here's the thing is like they came in and they were so angry and they did a really decent job. I think it was their first show and they did a really great first job. And after the thing, you know, he's beating himself up and it's just like, dude, you know, do these things and don't beat yourself up. It's your first fucking show, man. And you just played in front of, I think it was like 75 people was at that show. It's like, dude, that's a great first thing. Like you have to do it more. You have to keep going. Just because your first time was shitty. Everybody's first time is shitty unless you're fucking go for gold.
Yeah.
And
January 25th at Vino's, Terminal Nation, My Hands to War, Go for Gold, and Color Design. Rebuild the stage.
and more to be announced soon.
Oh, okay.
Actually waiting on a phone call. So
Okay.
yeah, boy. Justin knows.
Well, I mean, no, I have, for anyone who know, because we all know about the show now, there is actually a lot of stuff in play that Corey won't tell me, and I'm okay with that because I like being surprised, especially if it's all for the greater good of shit. I mean,
It is, man. It's all for the greater good.
Exactly. I mean, I've been at half chub all day.
Greater good, man. That's some of that evil British speak right there.
All for the greater
no,
good.
you're right.
For the greater good.
Are you talking about Hot Fuzz?
That was Irish. The fuck?
Hey, I'm talking about Hot Fuzz.
Learn your
You learn your
accents.
Face
So
your ass.
Anyway, I think there's some of this that you can't just know. And me talking about it, it's I can talk about it till I'm blue in the face, but it's things you have to do. So really just get out there and practice some of these things. Like you have to put thoughts and ideas into practice. And some are great and some fucking suck. But if you don't try and fuck up, you're not going to know what's right and what's wrong.
Which works.
I think the most important thing is when you get in there, don't just rush through it unless you're late and then you kind of don't have an option. But get there early. Like make it a point to be there early. Show up, scope the venue out, get a plan, get a game plan, bounce ideas off each other, and then like have a purpose, like be there with purpose, be intent, talk to your sound guy, talk to the manager, whoever the fuck is in the room, talk to them, schmooze with them, talk to the other bands, like watch them play, stick around, always just do all the little things.
Yeah. I mean, you're attaching everything you do to the name of your band. I mean,
exactly. And every move you make when you're branding yourself, which is what a band, show promoter, venue owner, Instagram extraordinaire, it doesn't matter. Every move you make is ultimately going to come back on your brand. Mm-hmm. So like, Billy Dick Face is a fart fucker and nobody likes Billy Dick Face, but he plays in X band. So guess who's not going to see X band? Because old Billy Boy, right?
Yeah.
Happens a lot, man.
Bands
and people talk. Yeah. That does happen. That does happen. But it doesn't have to happen.
No, it doesn't.
And it's okay to be new. It's okay to suck. It's okay to fuck things up. All I'm really trying to get through with this conversation is to just put a little effort. Goes a long way. Because, any good promoter who's worth their metal is going to know this is a new band. I'm not expecting fucking, silver to rain from the sky and shower me and, you're so amazing. No.
Nobody really cares for a pretentious attitude in any fucking
Well, that
way.
shit don't work anymore.
No.
You can't do that anymore.
Well,
so some people can, but generally those people are talented and get things done too.
Well, I'm talking
There's
about
a trade-off.
I'm just talking about like the different. you got your different levels. Like if you're still playing your home state and you haven't been a band that long, like you have no room. Really
Right. You have to get out there and experience the world. There's a lot of levels to that hierarchy of attitude.
Yeah.
And some bands, it's like you get to skate by on that one. You've done the damn thing. I'm gonna let you have that one. But you really shouldn't anyway. You should be grateful and at least somewhat, what's the word? Humble.
Yeah.
Because if it ain't for the fucking people in the room, you ain't shit anyway. So kind of don't be a dick. Because I've been rock starred by more than my fair share of fucking people who I thought were cool. And they say never meet your heroes or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a real fucking...
Most of the bands that I hate are the coolest people I've met doing production on the production side of it. I mean, there's a lot of people that I like their music, but I'm just like, y'all are really fucking shitty. And
Dude,
I hate your music, but god damn it, why are you so cool?
Dude, one of the coolest bands I've ever played with that was like not only are they like just like technically amazing, but they were really cool to meet was Sky Eats Airplane.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, those dudes are super cool.
Really cool. Sorry, he's talking in the side of the microphone. It's not gonna.
He's saying direct it like.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Not the side.
Got to cut the balls.
Those aren't omnidirectional.
Okay, yeah.
I just want people to hear you butt fucker.
I'm assuming people can hear me.
Well, you assume
butt pucker?
wrong. I'm gonna take him out completely. There's just gonna be blank ass pauses all in there.
This is a weird spot. It's like of you and me just going, yeah.
No, I'm just gonna put in elevator music and just be like, if you have to pee, go pee now.
That would be. I've been wanting you to do like applause,
like an
breaks.
interlude.
Yeah,
just like elevate,
or just like we get into like a heated discussion and it's just like, oh yeah, well you're such a fuck that.
Now experiencing technical difficulties.
And then it cuts back into the argument, but you just cut out.
You hear just like some shit crash. You cocksucking mother.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, but it's like then people are just like, oh, what do these say during the technical difficulty part? It's just like you literally just cut out a part where you're just like cocksucker. All right, now here's where we're going to do the technical difficulty part.
So anyway, like I was saying, cheese is not mold.
Fuck you! Right back into it. I think this podcast could benefit from some little things. I was like, just,
Fuck you, bitch.
No, just stuff like that. I just think it'd be funny.
I'm afraid of change.
You're talking about like adding it, like just slicing in a little bit of humor.
Well, I was listening to one of the ones.
As fuck.
Cricket noises.
Yeah.
See, that would be perfect. Cricket noises right there. Like cut out all the dead space, just put cricket noises, and then we just come back to us laughing. That'd be great.
You do that with your podcast. Just shut up. Is this good enough?
We weren't sure if it was open or not.
Yeah, I was like, what? Anyway, yeah, man, that's kind of what I wanted to get out there. Like, and another thing, like with your show, I think the only other thing I really want to get into is your setup matters, because people, whether they know it or not, if you set up and it's unprofessional and you put not a lot of care and time into it, they don't really understand why they don't like it. They just know they don't. And a lot of that is psychological, because anybody who's seen anybody play not in a small venue has seen a very professional setup, and the way things are done is in a very particular manner. And yeah, they're not paying attention to it consciously, but subconsciously their brain's taking that in. Yeah. And when you look like not the thing they're used to, and it's not like intentional, it shows. It's like laziness. It's like, you know, it's just like this weird thing that people will pick up on it and be like, oh, I mean, they were okay, blah, blah, blah. But if like the same thing goes for your stage performance. I'm not saying do what we do and hang from the fucking ceiling and kick shit over.
If you're not a chaotic energy band,
if you're not here to climb ladders and kick ass, then get the fuck out.
But you know, like say you're just in like a generic indie rock band, you know, even just tapping your foot and looking somewhat interested. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to shows and there's a guy in the band who looks like he could give 9 fucks to be there. Like he wants to be somewhere else. It's very evident. Like, why did you even show up, man? Like, if you don't want to be here, why are you here? Right. This doesn't make any sense. You look more disinterested than the guy at the bar watching the game.
Right.
You know, and he's not even watching you. Like, there's a reason he's not watching you. You should want to capture the attention of everybody, even the guy in the back. You know? Mm-hmm. And if you're just got some sort of scowl on your face and you're staring at your feet the whole night and you're not looking up or at least putting on somewhat of a show. Like and Lame Johnny, I don't actually look at the crowd. I just look sideways. And I'll talk to them and stuff and like look over, but it's part of the performance. Like that's built in. That's by design. It's not, I don't just stand there and go, with a scowly face and menace all over everything. Or grimace, whatever. Not menace.
Grimace.
Grimace. Purple bitch.
I was about to say it makes me want hamburgers.
Gobble, gobble.
Thanksgiving was last month, Corey.
Oh, it's rubble. The Hamburglar. Sorry.
There you go.
I said gobble, gobble.
That's okay.
I forgot.
He was a turkey.
I won't forgive you, but
that's fine.
It's all right.
You should kill me later.
You identify as a turkey now.
But I think that shit matters. It goes a long way, man. If you have, everything's all about outward performance, outward. You know, dress to fit the mood. That shit helps too. As much as I'm not like a dress up kind of guy, I still am like, what flannel does this show say? You know?
Right. Like, how dirty do I want to take it?
How dirty do I want to feel? I've been wearing the same pants since tour. I actually have. I'm a very nasty fucking person.
You told me that last week, so I'm not surprised.
Same shirt too. Flannel. It's like a jacket.
Yeah.
It hasn't been really too cold.
Yeah.
So I've been wearing it like a coat. So get off my back, okay? I've taken a few showers since then.
I've taken a few showers in my life.
Yeah.
I can count them on one hand. 1, 2, 3.
Technically, the third one. It wasn't.
Was there anything other things like you guys want to add? Like,
I mean, you pretty much nailed every point.
There's always small stuff that you can go into of like, well, just having some forward thought, I guess, about like what am I wanting to do?
Right. Are you talking about like advice to give and all this?
I think what it all boils down to is it's all about your intent, and it's all about what you're trying to convey.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also, be meticulous on yourself. Like, be hard on yourself, because being hard on yourself builds better character. And at the end of the day, don't just like shit on everything you do. But when it, like, what I mean is be hard on yourself to the point where you're playing. And then when it happens, if it goes good, hell yeah.
Yeah, revel in that victory.
Because a lot of times what we do is we celebrate. And Justin, you both can speak to this.
Yeah.
Every time My Hands to War has an outrageous set, we take the money we made from the show, we spend it entirely on food, and everybody comes over and we have a big ass barbecue.
Yeah.
Like, we celebrate because it's a momentous occasion for us.
Right.
Like, everything about this was great. Every fucking person did their job. This was phenomenal. Congratulations, everyone.
Yeah, engorge yourself.
Right. And
celebrate.
And we, because, we spend, oh God, the amount of hours, I particularly myself, spend meticulously thinking over every single detail. And it's like, you come to one of our shows, there's an expectation, and there's also a delivery system that we have to have too. And we have to make sure all that shit lines up. We have 6 schedules we have to get in line. We have a fucking light dude now. We have like all these moving parts.
Right.
And when it goes off, man, it's the best.
Well, it's
the best.
I think one thing to also remind, especially younger bands or even bands that are still been around, all that stuff, like at the end of the day, when you're booked for a show, you're there to play a fucking show. If you've got inter-band turmoil, let's say like your drummer and your guitarist don't get along, me and Corey, no, I'm just kidding, we get along.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you too. Like let's say if y'all had like a fight earlier in the week and all that stuff, but you're still booked to play the show, do not let your personal shit.
Put your feelings aside.
Yeah. Put your ego at the fucking door. Come to do your fucking job.
Yes.
Play your show, and honestly, that animosity might make for a better show.
It usually does, man. Take that anger and put it in them.
You got some more fucking energy into the show.
Oh yeah.
I can't tell you how many times we've had like
feed into
right.
it.
I can't tell you how many times me and Justin have been tiffing at each other, and we'll just stop talking. This is what usually happens. We'll just stop talking, and then we'll start playing, and we'll have the best practice we've ever had.
Oh yeah.
And then at the end of it, we're like, I don't even remember what we were fucking bullshit.
Yeah, no,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's usually over something really stupid. It's like it's a small disagreement that's just like, why are we'll even say it in the argument, like why are we fucking arguing over this? It's like, I don't know. Why are we arguing over?
Well, when you have the love relationship that we do, it's very
it's fine,
like a married couple.
But it's
why are we arguing about this?
it's so conducive to us doing something better at the end of it,
right?
Which is like, anytime that I've had any sort of disagreement with a member of the band, it's like, yeah, we'll talk about it eventually, but for a while, because I'm passive, so I'm just gonna let that shit build up, and I'm gonna be like, I did something wrong, or fuck this person. But at the end of it, everything's fine. And
well, in y'all's case, though, I mean that it seems like it just gives a lot of friction and a lot of fucking heat, and that's.
But but from that friction creates something great. Like it's making a fucking diamond out of coal, man. You got to put under so much pressure.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you just feel that pressure.
Yeah,
and that's okay too, man.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
you have to know a band is the same thing as a family, and there's a lot of give and take and a lot of push and pull, and you're not always going to get your way.
No,
you're not. You're not always going to have the part you want. You're not always going to have. Sometimes I really want Justin to do a thing, and then I just end up doing it myself because it's like maybe he just doesn't want to do it, or maybe I asked and he forgot. So shit happens.
Yeah,
you still make it work.
Fucking call me out, Corey.
Brother, I'll call you out all day, Mr. 3 months later. But so there is one thing you can guarantee: if you say, "Hey guys, share the post," he'll be the first one to do it.
That's true.
Yeah. I've been slacking, I know. I'm sorry for it.
No, you shared the last Crashcast episode.
Yeah,
I saw.
You did.
I'm watching you, baby bird.
It's intermittent.
I
don't get on Facebook.
It makes me feel bloated when I share too much.
I always try checking to get that notification about
Right.
for the podcast, because you'll see like when All
Oh,
the
you
time
actually
people-
have it turned on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have something on. It's not my Spotify. I don't think it's
Apple
my pocket.
Music, maybe.
I don't think so because I don't have Apple Music. I don't have like a sign up or anything. But I there's something that every single Tuesday.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
it says you have a new episode up.
Awesome. You've
So-
been in the last few.
Mhm.
Hell yeah.
I mean, there was a period of time that I wasn't on it for like a month.
It was a while, but I
just-
mean, just different guests, different
Well,
things.
well, I was about to say some of the some of the podcasts were stuff that I wasn't well versed in.
Well, yeah, it's
I don't-
situational.
Yeah, I don't ever want to be the dude in a room that just sits and listens and doesn't contribute.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like this is like why
A
am I
lot of
here?
times I like having you around, especially for something like this, is because, like before I got into My Hands to War, you guys were one of those bands.
Oh yeah,
With the way you set up, and the way you
absolutely
very haphazard, very like not a lot of thought was put into it. You had like some semblance of a light show, but it was it was archaic as fuck.
Oh no,
You were trying though. That's the deal. That's what we're saying. Is like try. But then
Yeah.
when I got in the band, I was like, hey guys, we're gonna scrap 80% of this bullshit and let's focus on this. And then
yeah, no. Corey's experience made us all like, because at that point when you have somebody like with your sort of experience, we're kind of allowed to take a step back and like, oh, this is what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yes, let's do this.
yeah, and I don't think I've ever
He was your token production guy.
definitely.
Yeah,
But I don't think
it's-
I've ever done anything intentionally to send us like. There's been a few misfires with like, hey, let's try this.
But it wasn't intentional though.
Yeah, but a lot of that also is like our promoting is abysmal. We're fucking terrible at promoting things. So like a lot of my promotional, that's where like some of the failures step in. Like we'll all bounce idea. Oh, okay, that's cool, and then we get it done, and it's like this is kind of stupid.
Yeah. Well, because we're so enticed by the idea of
Ideas. We're so enticed by ideas.
Yeah, we
We're
really
idea
are.
people, man.
Yeah.
Like
Any-
you say
anything.
A new you say a new thing, and it's like, ooh, a new thing.
This is a cannon that shoots water in your butthole, but when it comes but it goes all the way through your body. When it comes out your mouth, it's strawberry.
Whoa!
Fuck yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
just try
I want
twice.
the strawberry mouth water butt cannon. I want that. Patent pending. You guys heard it here.
Well, that's like 90%. Like if you come and hang out with me and Justin Cole, like it can
it.
be really boring because a lot of the conversation is just what if.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what if this? Well, what if that? Well, if
Hey.
we did this thing, dude.
Oh,
Like
dude,
90%
it would be
of our
cool if-
conversations start with you getting out of the car and being like, "So I," and then blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I'll usually just have like some random statement that I'll think of on the spot, just because.
Well, because I told him I really don't like actually people
like small talk.
like saying like, "Hey, what's up? How was your day?" It's like, oh, come on, man. It was a day. So like Justin and me, like there's no small talk. Like
No.
there's like, "Hey, what's up?" Or he'll just get out of his car and be like, "There was a kid in the street, so I fucking killed him."
Yeah, I've like if he's especially if he's sitting out in front of the shed waiting on me or Cody, I'll just like get out of the car, turn it off. So I told that bitch, something like that. Just like if someone who would just walk up on a
He
conversation, be
immediately goes into like a situation.
or just a bit, yeah.
Yeah, or a bit.
And, like,
We'll start midway into this conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I
There
love
we
that
go.
kind of stuff. If you
Oh yeah.
dude, why sometimes watching his eyes and he was just like, "Where's this gonna go?" I can see him trying to piece in his head, and I'm just like, "I'm about to take a a sharp left."
sharp deviation.
Yeah. You thought
So,
it was. You
you're
thought
like-
it was. You thought it was going to end this way. It's going to end this way.
So anyway, I had spaghetti for dinner.
right. And then I failed all my geography classes.
Yes,
Sorry.
you did.
Sorry, mom and dad.
College wasn't for
It
me.
really wasn't.
It wasn't for me, baby. And then I failed.
Failed or failed?
Both.
Correct. I did both.
You bail failed.
I did bail fail. I also failed.
Failed.
Bail.
We are tangenty today.
Yeah.
It's every day.
Yeah.
We're the worst.
It's been a weird week.
It's been a fucking weird month, dude. I was just
Yeah.
me and Big Justin Alliance over here have had like the last 5 hours to shoot the shit. He's been
Yeah.
here since noon.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like going over like some of the things that have been going on and stuff. And I was like, dude, this all happened in the last 30 days.
Yeah.
I need a nap. I need a fucking nap. Like after January 25th, or no, February 9th, I guess. Oh, I guess we can say that too. Yeah. Lame Johnny's got a show at Maxine's. First time playing there with Lame Johnny. Excited about that.
I'm really fucking excited.
I don't know who we're playing with yet, but it is confirmed. So sweet.
Yeah, we'll
we
give
might
out.
just be playing with ourselves.
Well, that's cool.
It's
cool.
a sexual joke. I get it.
Oh, so
Yeah, I'm stupid and 14.
Boner.
But no, Maxine's has always been a fucking super dope place.
I like it. The pizza's fucking delicious too.
It's you wouldn't like you would honestly.
No, it's unassuming.
Yeah. No, you look at the. Have you had Maxine's pizza before?
No.
Okay.
I've been there like once.
If you look at Maxine's pizza, you'd be like,
the chicken
I don't
Alfredo.
know.
The chicken Alfredo.
Chicken Alfredo pizza is delicious. Also, the regular classic pepperoni is
Chicken
amazing.
Alfredo pizza in general sounds pretty delicious.
But just listen. It looks like you're like this might be some sort of scientific experiment.
Is it like pizza diarrhea? Like if a pizza had
I wouldn't say
No.
pizza diarrhea.
No.
And this isn't like shitting on it. The presentation just looks off. It doesn't look like a normal pizza, but you take a bite and it'll fucking blow your mind.
It's great.
It's
I
like,
really like it.
it's right under Vino's for me.
Oh, yeah, well, then you should eat down the street at the, I can't remember the name, but you can only get like 2 pizzas at a time. The Hot Springs people are probably screaming at me right now.
The one that's like, they get their
DeLucas or something?
Yeah, they get their cheese flown in like fresh
Dude,
daily
it
type
is
shit.
so, it'll fucking rip your balls
Well,
off.
I know, but I don't have time to go do that. But
Well, but you do because you have Mondays off. You just go down there tomorrow. Go to DeLucas. Get a pizza for lunch.
you have to have money to do that. I'm
Yeah,
broke.
it's fine. Just steal it.
Okay.
Run in.
You literally heard it from here. Corey just told me to go to Hot Springs and steal pizza.
Run in, steal a slice. No one's going to give a shit. Just rip a slice off and be like, this is mine, and run out. People are like, I guess it's his.
Where's my goddamn peanut butter? And then leave.
There you go.
He grabbed a slice of pizza, asked for his peanut butter, and left.
So it's clear we have nothing else to say. Is that what I'm getting? Because we're talking about peanut butter pizza.
I think so.
But did he get his peanut butter?
I mean,
We just told you.
to be fair, we touched on a topic and we went pretty in depth on most of it.
I like it. I feel good
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
I really do want to make a video series out of this because I feel like video conveys the intent and the points a little bit more direct. Like have like some, get somebody to have improv conversation
And
on
plus-
camera to
yeah.
see like how interacting with like a promoter is like.
Right, and plus we're not having this conversation to the listener's face. It's just in their ears.
Right, and it is kind of hard to like.
Picture
Basically, if you take anything away from it, if you're tilting your amps and it's not on purpose or by design, straighten it up.
Also, come in with intent,
Yeah.
play with intent,
Yep.
and leave with intent.
Right, and be fucking
murder.
as nice
And professional as possible.
and professional as possible. I know everybody has off days, but if you having an off day, delegate the talking permissions to somebody else for the day.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times where if I come into a show and it's been fucked up, it's like, hey Todd, will you go and do this? And Todd's just like, yeah, man, cool.
That's
no problem.
That's literally a conversation I've heard with my own 2 ears.
Yeah,
a
so-
lot.
It's like, well, it's
so-
just one of those deals, man, where like, fuck, I work hard as fuck, and sometimes I'm just tired. And when I get tired, I get cranky.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm one of those tired, cranky people. I'm a morning person, which is odd. You wouldn't think, but I love like morning, 6 o'clock, I'm up. All right, haha, it's the day. And then at night, it's like,
Well, no. So it's 6 o'clock. All right, I'm up. All right, let's start today. 6:01. Fuck this shit.
go back to sleep. But I think this is a good one, man.
Yeah.
I like it. I think we made a lot of good points. I'm working on a lot of really good episodes. I'm just trying to like get everything in order.
Yeah, man.
We're probably next week we're going to do a holiday episode.
Yes.
We're going to talk about holidays and stuff.
Christmas at the Fishers.
Yeah, kind of like that. Kind of like how we view the holidays and how our opinions changed of it.
Right.
And, just talk, man. We're just going to have a good time. We'll have some maybe we'll have some food or something. We'll just do like a different kind of atmosphere.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're probably going to miss a week because of Christmas and the New Year's. And New Year's, I think, is on Tuesday. So I don't really think anybody's going to be listening to podcasts with hangovers.
Oh, I don't want to.
Right.
Oh, I wonder what Crashcast is up to.
I don't want to hear the fuck word for 300 more times.
Why not? Fuck.
Fuck. Anyway, so there might be an episode that we miss. I'm going to try not to, but hey, fucking shit happens. I'm working on 2 really good ones that I hope pull through soon because I think everybody's really going to like those.
Okay.
And then Anybody got anything else?
January 25th, come to the show.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, mainly that's probably the only thing that I'll try to like plug out for a while. I mean, like I'm excited for the Lame Johnny show, but this one's the most show. This show for Vino's, like I made a tweet about it earlier. This might be the coolest thing I've ever been a part of because it's such a big deal to the not only the 4 bands that are playing, and to the audience coming in, and to the establishment itself, but just just the scene and the music culture around here in general. Like we're doing this for free, man. Like I don't know if anyone paid attention to the post, but like none of the bands are getting paid. The sound guy's not getting paid.
Yeah.
Like we're literally doing this because we love Vino's and we love our scene so much. Like I don't know. It's been a long time since I've been this inspired by something of the community coming together, and it started as a conversation.
Everybody's doing everything for free.
Yeah,
it's clear how much people want this when they're willing to delegate and give their what could be hard-earned money and all their time.
Yeah,
and all the effort that's gone into this, and it's
a big deal, man. I mean,
it's a big deal. We have been given a chance to make something right and make it our own. And if you
that's the way you kind of have to.
If you've ever played at Vino's, I feel like it's your obligation at this point.
It's very much in your best interest.
I'm not guilt tripping you, but you should want to be there because
if you'll see like new life being breathed into the scene again. I mean this show itself. I mean.
Well, it's just like the thing you said, Corey, and I very much reflect and share the sentiments. Like, we're gonna do something on January 25th that's so special and magical that like it's gonna set a precedent for years to come, and especially with all these new bands that are gonna be coming out, because like the Arkansas music scene is highly overlooked, and there's a lot of talent. There's so much fucking talent in this state.
That's true.
It's being underutilized because we don't have places to play.
I mean, because they've slowly but surely being all closed down.
Exactly, and and that's maybe that is on the bands. Let's just say maybe it is on the bands.
I don't think so. I think you have to share responsibility for problems too, but it's hard. It's what I want to dub it the Netflix complex. I think it's a real thing.
No, when you brought
Amazon complex,
when you brought that up on that last podcast or the podcast that you had mentioned on, like it's 100% true.
You're competing with things you've never had to compete with, and we don't know how to do it yet.
Yeah,
there's a fine line between someone being entertained for $14 a month, unlimited, or spending $7 a weekend to go to support shows. But it's like at the end of the day, a show is tangible. And Netflix,
it might fall through. The show might get canceled.
If the lights go out, Netflix is fucking gone. If the lights go out, I'll grab an acoustic and give you the same damn show. Yeah. It's tangible. It's a human experience. It's not just some bullshit on a screen.
And I feel like it's way more emotional too.
Of course it is. There's actual energy.
Yeah.
Right. And not just a show in general. Like this, I'm trying.
And let's be honest. How many times are you motivated by something you saw on Netflix? Now, how many times have you been motivated going and watch somebody do something they're passionate about?
Oh God,
almost every time.
Like the shows that I don't play that I actually have time
that you just go to.
That I have the time and the money and the energy to go watch and all that stuff. It's fucking mind blowing because I can, even if a show goes wrong and all that stuff, you can always take at least one good thing out of it. You can take one good thing away.
Yeah.
And like for most people, me especially, like as much as I try to downplay, like. There was one show we played last year. I ended up getting the flu during the show, and like I thought my performance was fucking garbage, and like I stayed in that so long, and like everybody was like, "What are you talking about?" Like that was an amazing show. I'm like, I don't feel like I played up to snuff, and like
you missed like 2 notes.
Yeah, exactly, and
in
like
an hour-long set.
Yeah, we played a long time,
and you're moving around,
and I'm sick as fuck. And
it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know how my brain is. Like I could not
trust me.
If
anybody beats their self up, it's me.
Yeah,
I miss one fucking note, and I'm like, "You're the worst drummer in the world. You suck. You should just quit the fucking band and go live in the woods. Fuck you."
He has said that during practice.
Yeah, but yeah, dude. So the 25th, it's gonna be super special.
The 9th
do
is
your
gonna be
part.
cool.
Everybody's. not every band gets to play because not every band can play. I just
Right.
want to, like, the reason the bands that are on there is, like, this was picked, it was very specific. They're all different genres. They all have very good followings, and this is about maximizing potential to maximize the potential of what
In the future,
is to come. And it was thought out by a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very cool thing. And now if you want to do your part is to show up. It is to pay the $10. It is to enjoy yourself and help build a future that other people can look forward to. Because if we don't do it, no one else is gonna.
Right.
And it literally is one of those things where it's up to us to make sure this goes forward. That's it. It's as simple as that. Nobody's saying anything else other than that. It's just, this is the group of people that happen to just be like, it's right place, right time. Let's just make it fucking happen.
Right.
We're tired of almost dying every time we get on stage. Let's just fix it. So we're going to fix the problem.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. We have a lot of great people involved, a lot, tons of things going on.
Yeah.
It's fucking incredible, man. I have literally strings of text even right now. This is the business. I'm not a popular person. My phone, literally since this has started, just every day is just filled up with messages, and it's cool and it's exciting. And we all get to do something awesome. It's cool, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. And
Hells yeah.
Justin's going to be there.
Yeah.
Corey's going to be there. I'm also going to be there. I might be.
No,
there.
you're not coming.
I'm not allowed at the show.
You're on the do not call list.
I am not going to be at the show, guys. All right. So you guys have fun playing my fucking songs.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh!
We have John Comfort, so you
That's
suck.
true. John Comfort. John, shout out John from Eyes Up / My Hands to War. He rules.
So, is that it?
Yeah, I think so, man.
Yeah.
Good podcast.
Yeah, dude. Sounded to me.
Good times hanging out with Bass. I hadn't seen him in a minute, so
It has been. Well, I mean,
You two,
like
would
a
you two
month and a
catch
half.
up after? Go
Fuck
fucking
you.
make out in the back, would you?
Go make out with my
This,
dick.
this is me, okay? It's my turn.
Lick my butt.
I think that's.
I got to get to the thank you for listening part. It's my tagline.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you
Guys,
noticed?
Thanks for listening.
Fuck you! Anyway, everybody, have a great night. If you're listening to this in the day, come see us on January 25th. Make a huge difference in your scene and just, hang out with us. Even if it's just a hangout, come hang out. And nothing else? All right, everybody. Thank you for listening.